Hey guys, Zane here, aka Novaboi, and I'm here to talk about my sugar daddy experience. Let's get into this. So I know this video is long awaited and I've kind of been putting it off, but only because my experience is a little different than others because mine started off as a relationship and then turned into an arrangement. So going over the story is a little more like, not really emotional, but there's just more connected to it than just like a sugar daddy, sugar baby type of situation, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna start from the beginning and then we'll just go forward and just go through the entire experience. It all started when I was 18. I was 18 working one of my first jobs, Spectrum Athletic Clubs. It's a gym, at the time it was called Spectrum Athletic Clubs. Like high-end, like health club, not really like a 24-hour or like that type of situation, more of like a Equinox was Spectrum's competition, so kind of more that level, so like wealthier clientele, wealthier members, more elite, like, not elite, but like people had distinguished job titles, pretty much were the members of, you know, Spectrum. So this is where I met, we're going to call him Adam, that's not his real name, but we're going to call him Adam. That's where I met Adam, and I was working at the time only like 2 days a week. I was working Friday and Sunday, so I'd always see him Friday and Sunday, or maybe just sometimes one of those days, depending on what his schedule was, or if he made it to the gym or not, whatever. At the time, being that young, being 18, I was definitely very romantic and like cheesy. I had also been gay for about like a year at that point. I was bisexual prior, but I had like pretty much come out like 17 I was gay. So 18 I had pretty much been, you know, out going to, you know, gay clubs, you know, 18 fresh, like new in the scene pretty much, you know what I mean? So, and for some reason I've always had these unexplained daddy issues because my father's been completely present in my life for my entire life. Maybe not like emotionally, but that's neither here nor there. So I've always been attracted to older men. I mean, I know exactly why I'm attracted to older men, but that's a whole nother story. I would see Adam like once or 2 times a week. And I started noticing that I kind of got excited when he would come in. I would be looking forward to him because I started just developing this little crush. He was older, he was Middle Eastern, or he's still alive, no, I'm not talking past tense. He's older, he's Middle Eastern, wealthy but doesn't look it, and isn't very flashy. But I knew, like, okay, he had to have some sort of money because his mother, and Adam didn't even just have the regular base membership where you got the Santa Monica location and another location. He had the whole all club location access, all like 14 clubs at the time access. Like he could be anywhere and he can go to that club, no problem. Okay, the pricing was different. Okay, he had money. So I already knew that prior because, I mean, when you scan someone in, it has all their information. So me being a little millennial, I was lurking. I was getting the deets because some of these people, some of these members are really like status quo, you know what I'm saying? So I did my homework and I was like, okay, he's nothing big, like he's not like anything big or flashy, but he has multiple properties that he manages and that's how he makes his money. He was cute, he was tall, he was like my height. Like 6 foot, like not like muscular or like lean, but he had like a svelte physique, and he was just cute. He had a cute smile, and he had an accent, so that always got me. And he didn't really notice me too much at first, but I definitely noticed him. So like I would make it known, me being 18, like trying to flirt, like God. I would have like a group of members coming in, and I'd be checking everyone in, not really giving anyone the time of day, and then it would come to Adam. I'd be like, you know, I'd smile and be like, hey, how are you? Like, you know, be a little more chatty with him, be a little more friendly. And then he kind of started to catch on. He started noticing that I was being super friendly to him and not really any other people when he would come in. So then he would start, you know, smiling, being kind of chatty back. And like, he would, you know, give me that look like he's aware that I have interest in him and he also has interest in me. But still kind of cautious. In hindsight, it's probably because I was fucking 18 and I was young and he's like way older and probably like doesn't want to catch a case because doesn't know how old I am. Because when I first started working there, I was 17. So I definitely started working there not legal. So 18, I'm still probably super young looking. That's definitely during my twink phase, like very like thin, like barely any butt, no real butt. you know, cute, thin twink, like twink, okay? Like, I don't know if anyone remembers Cairo Christian, the emo twink. Like, that was literally me, okay? Literally me. That's pretty much what I look like, okay? So, super twinky, like, you know, wanting a daddy, like, definitely, you know, fetishizing wanting a daddy, like, wanting someone to take care of me like that. Well, not really take care of me, but I just did want to have, I wanted to have a genuine connection with someone older that could take care of me in more ways than one. Not necessarily financially, but could, like, take care of me, you know what I mean? Like, again, unexplained daddy issues. So, we're doing this flirting for weeks, you know what I mean? Like, I see him once, maybe twice a week, and we're doing this 30-second flirtatious, you know what I mean? So that's building up for weeks, months go by, pretty much about a year goes by. I remember like just turning 19, we're still doing this coy, flirtatious, sometimes we would talk a little longer, or he would come up and like ask for something or have a question just like as an excuse to talk to me. So I was like, okay, Zane, you and Aries, you getting tired of this, you getting bored. Let's rev this up. So I look him up, I find his Facebook, I message him, you know, just like, hey, this is, you know, Zane from Spectrum, didn't see you the other day, wanted to give you my number, or like, haven't seen you in a little bit, just wanted to like, give you my number, like, whatever. I don't remember exactly what I said, but something along those lines. A week goes by, don't hear anything, doesn't even read it. Another week goes by, he pops up in the gym, checking in, like nothing like the normal, like, hey, how you doing, smile, cutesy, coy, flirtatious. Nothing. Doesn't bring up anything. I then go on Facebook, he hasn't read the message. I was like, okay. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make it a point to talk to him on his way out. So an hour goes by, he's leaving, and you know, I flag him down. I'm like, hey, I pull him aside, I'm like, you know, I think I messaged you, or I was like, hopefully I think I messaged you, I hope it was the right like profile, because there are a lot of, I mean his real name's not Adam, but what his name is like a common Middle Eastern name. So, you know, I was just like, you know, I hope I messaged the right person when I messaged you on Facebook. He was like, oh, he's like, yeah, I don't really go on Facebook too much, but if you want to exchange numbers, we can do that now. So we exchanged numbers right then and there. My heart's aflutter, practically melted, okay, you know what I'm saying? Weak at the knees, nervous as fuck. We exchange numbers, he leaves, we start texting instantly. So, we're texting all night, all throughout that night. So, oh yeah, Fridays I would work mornings, so I'd be off in the afternoon. So Friday, we made plans for me to go over after work. And I was like, okay, cool. So after work, you know, I get all dolled up. And then I head over there. We're there, cute little place, not flashy, not like, this is the thing with Adam, like literally not flashy at all, but he was just very, not frugal. He didn't see the need to have like too many extra like materialistic things. You know what I mean? Like, he worked hard for his money, you know, family of like, I think like, he's like first generation, honestly. Just works hard for his money, not very flashy. So like something that I really respected, like something that I was really attracted to and drawn to and respected. Brings me into his place, I'm there, he asks me if I want anything to drink, and he has like every type of alcohol. So I'm drinking, so like I said, I'll have vodka. So he makes me a drink with vodka. He's drinking, and then he also has a drink with vodka. He's like, I'm gonna drink whatever you drink. So we're drinking the same thing. And we're sitting, we're talking, we're just like getting to know each other, shooting the shit, you know, breaking the ice, small talk. The topic comes up of like when we first started like noticing each other. And then he admits to say that he always had interest in me, but he was cautious because he didn't know how old I was. He didn't know if I was 18 or if I was younger than 18. It's like, you know, that's not me. I'm not into like underage like you have to be. So he was always very, that's why he never really pursued too much, because he was just didn't know how old I was. So when I told him that I had just turned 19, it was kind of like, okay, it's a real green light here. I'm here, you're here, we're both conscious adults, like this is a green fucking light. So after that was established, that's when we started like cuddling and like really getting to know each other, and he was, you know, telling me like how beautiful he thought I was and all this stuff. And then, you know, we start kissing, we start making out, we're making out. It's fun. I'm like, oh my god, I'm like 19, living my best life. I'm making out with this older guy, this sexy older man, like, doing the damn thing, kissing, making out, you know, hardcore passion, moving to the bedroom, still making out. clothes coming off, naked making out, intense, passionate, like, you know, like dry humping, you know what I mean? We didn't have sex, I was so down. I was like, let's fucking go. You know what I mean? Like, let's fucking go. He was a little more, you know, cautious. He's like, I don't really want to do this the first time. He's like, you're so beautiful, like, I want this to be different, like, I want this to be different than what we think this might be. And I was like, okay, shit, down, let's fucking go, like, take care of me, you know what I'm saying? Make me yours, make me your little boy toy, like, literally, I think that's exactly what it was. I wasn't really a sugar baby, I was like a boy toy at first, definitely a boy toy. Which is like, they're in the same family, but sugar babies, like, you know, you get money, okay? You're getting paid for companionship, regardless if you're sleeping with that person or you're just out on a date. You're getting paid for companionship. So I wasn't like there. Definitely more boy toy, more Twinkie. So, and then we were making out for like, probably like a little over an hour. And then he makes me dinner, super vegetarian, super Middle Eastern, super delicious. I remember he offered to give me a ride home. He's like, did you drive? I was like, no, I didn't. He's like, do you want to ride home? And I remember trying to seem like, be like, okay, you need to seem like super mature and like more independent. And I was like, no, it's okay, I got it. So I remember like actually walking home from his house, but he didn't live far from me. It was probably like honestly like a 30-minute walk. But I love walking. I'm a big walker, so walking places doesn't really faze me. Because I just put on a good playlist, I'm walking. So I remember walking home being smitten. So pretty much, we're texting, we hang out more. And then he is the one, I always say that Adam took my virginity because, well, he took my conscious virginity because when I, you know, originally lost my virginity, I was blacked out, don't remember it at all. I had to be like told what happened, and I definitely like, you know, felt like sex was had. I mean, the same weekend I lost my straight virginity and my gay virginity, so that was just blacked out for both of those. So that was just like a weekend we don't really talk about. So I lost my, so basically I always just say that Adam took my virginity because that's the one I remember. That was the one that was pretty much my first time, like pretty much. I was what? I was 16 when I lost it originally, so a good 2-3 years had gone by and I had not had sex since. So I was a virgin, okay? I was a virgin. And Adam took my virginity, so that also like adds to like how like just the connection that we had and kind of why this is just more than just like an arrangement, because like Adam was like a lot for me. Like that was everything for me. And he would take me out, like, and he would take me shopping and he would buy me anything that I wanted, and we would go on trips. Like we would go to Palm Springs for the weekend, or we would go to San Diego for dinner, or just like random shit. Like we would always just take spontaneous trips. He was always making sure that I was good, taken care of. I didn't have like an allowance, but if he was ever dropping me off somewhere, if I was like leaving his house, he would always give me the money in his wallet, whether that was $80 or $500, like whatever like cash he had in his wallet, he just gave it to me because he always had his cards. He didn't really need cash. He didn't like carrying cash. He would just carry cash around to give to me whenever I was, you know, so he makes sure that I was good. Much together. We had like an open relationship, but I never really like utilized, like it would like, it was open, I agreed to something open, but none of us really like acted on it, like, because he knew that I was young, so he knew that I probably wanted to like, you know, be young, you know, sleep around, have fun, live my little best whole life, you know what I mean? But that's not really something that I wanted to do. But we just kept it an open relationship, and we were together for at least 2 years open. Well, now that I think about it, well, see, culturally it's different. Like, people drink younger. Like, people on the other side of the world, like, drink so much, they start drinking so much younger. And they just have, like, different views. So, like, as long as I was 18, as long as I was, like, 19, like, he didn't care if I was, like, drinking. He was like, I'd rather you be, like, drunk. But I was never, like, drunk. Like, I never was, like, drunk around Adam. And, like, I would drink, but he would make sure, like, he would cut me off, too. Like, after, like, 2 drinks, he'd be like, no, I'm not gonna make it another one. I don't want you to be, like, you know, because I'm not of age. Because I remember things starting to fade out after I turned 21, because that's when we were going out and I was actually out ordering drinks. Like, I remember being at Lulu's in Palm Springs and ordering key lime martini and them carding me. So we were definitely together for at least 2 years. And then when I was like 21 moving into 22, that's when things kind of started to change. I was definitely more like, I was going to more clubs because I was going out more because I was able to drink. And we just kind of started drifting because, I don't know, he started getting super jealous, like super jealous. We would go out and he would see the attention that, like, especially if we were out in Palm Springs, like Sugar Daddy Central, like older man, younger one. And okay, I never said this, but he was 40 years older than me. So huge age difference, okay? And he had 2 kids that were older than me, just by a couple years. So I mean, like, if we went out, people would probably just assume that I was his son. But if we go out to a gay area, they know what the fuck is good, okay? An older man, a younger cute boy, dressed in cuteness, okay? They know what the fuck's going on. And especially in Palm Springs, I would get a lot of attention from other older men. And that would make him insecure. And he knew that I was getting older, and he knew that I was going out more too. And I think it just started getting in his head, and then that started turning me off. Plus, he is older, he is more old school, so some of his views, especially his views when it came to like women, the way he would talk about women was like a huge turnoff to me. And he was an awful driver. And I'm sorry, when I start having issues with you, the littlest things start becoming the biggest things. I literally just can't stand to be around you. So I remember it getting pretty bad towards the end. It was just nuts because we were really close. Because not only did he take my virginity, but I was there for him. Like, he had just survived like prostate cancer. He got his prostate removed, so he literally didn't have any like semen, like there was no cum in him. Like, he would orgasm, but there would be no nut. And he would get hormone shots every month, so sometimes he would have trouble getting his dick up because of the, like, not because like he just couldn't get it up, literally because of the hormones. Like, it would just make his dick limp, so he would really have to be like super relaxed in order to like get it up. Like even taking like Viagra or like an erectile dysfunction like pill, that wouldn't help. Like, usually we would have sex in the morning because that's when like it would be boom, on and popping. Palm Springs, he was always be like super relaxed, so we'd have a lot of sex in Palm Springs too. When he found out that he first was diagnosed with cancer, his wife left him. Like, he like literally, like, I came into his life and like we kind of just like, we came into each other's life at the right time for both of us, and we kind of just latched onto each other. And the relationship just kind of became toxic after a little bit. And towards the end, it was more of like, we didn't see each other as much, but if I ever needed anything, he would just buy it. He would give me money whenever I asked. Then I kind of would have like an allowance type of situation. Sleep with each other occasionally if we wanted, like if it happened. But I was definitely out there starting to do my own thing. Definitely starting to do my own thing. Definitely starting to get other attention from like men, like boys my age. So I was definitely drifting away, and I remember getting really bad. We went to Palm Springs together like one last time. We didn't know it was gonna be our last trip at the time, but by the end, like, it was just not, it got awkward, it got weird. And I remember stealing a bottle of Grey Goose from him after he like dropped me off at home. I like went in the trunk to get my stuff, and I like took like a whole bottle of Grey Goose. And that really like, that pissed him off. Not because it was like alcohol, I was saying alcohol, but it was the fact that I like took something from him. And that was probably the icing on the cake that just completely like sealed our relationship and like ended it. But we were together for almost like about like 3 years. And he was bisexual too. He's with a woman now. We're civil. We're actually like, we're still friendly. We still text. He actually texted me the other day. He's been traveling. He's retired. He's living his best life right now. I'm really happy for him. He texted me because he was in Iran, and he saw this cafe called Zane, and he took a picture and he texted me and he was like, I didn't know you had a cafe here. Like, just like fun banter. So like, we're still friendly, and I'll see him occasionally. And we were able to get past everything, but we just knew like that ship had sailed, and we were just gonna be friends at that point. Like, I don't even ask him. I know that if I really needed money and I asked him, he would probably give it to me, but I don't ever really want to ask him for money again. And I kind of like, and I got to the point where I stopped liked being taken care of, and I started like being more actually independent and paying for my own shit. I had a big like personality shift when I turned like 21. Like, a lot of things changed for me. So yeah, I never met his kids. His kids actually never knew about me. They knew that his dad was seeing someone younger, but they never knew, like, who it was. Like, we never met. His son is actually fine as fuck. His son is, like, 2 years. His daughter's gorgeous. She's, like, 3 years older than me, and his son's, like, 2 years older than me. Oh, my God. His son is so hot. A musician, too. I low-key downloaded some of his songs on my iTunes back in the day. Like, I didn't even download, like, YouTube, MP3, convert, you know what I'm saying, some of his son's songs, because, like, I had a low-key little crush on his son, too. Never even met him, just from the pictures and his music. I was like, okay, talented family. Overall, I had a good relationship with him. I didn't have the best sugar baby experience with him. Like, because then I'm kind of getting tainted. It kind of, like, turned into something that it naturally wasn't what it was. So being older and being like a more like independent adult, like living on my own and having actual more expenses, I kind of do miss having someone older to take care of the bills. But there is something satisfying about being able to take care of yourself, at least for me. Sometimes I'll be stressed, I'm like, fuck, I wish I still had a sugar daddy or something, but I kind of like just being solo dolo, taking care of myself. It was nice, like, after our relationship ended and after everything stopped, I kind of did start realizing how many things, like pretty much all of my clothes were paid for. Like, all of my shoes, like, he had bought, like, everything. And looking back, that was literally my longest relationship that I've ever been in. Almost 3 years. After that, I couldn't be in a relationship longer than 3 months before it would be awful. And I realized that that's kind of why I like bi men. I love bi men. I love bi men. I love gay men, but I love bi men. Bi men are so fucking hot. Do I miss Adam? No. Do I miss how simple times were back then? Yes. And how big of a dreamer I was? Yes. That I miss. It was fun though. Overall, scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most amazing time, 1 being awful, I would rate that an 8. The 3 years, a good 7, 8. 8 at the beginning, 9 at the beginning, phasing into a 7 towards the end. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe a 6. Ooh, I had a temper back then too. See, I've grown a lot. Ooh, man. But hey, that was my sugar daddy experience. What about you guys? Do you guys have a similar thing? Were you a boy toy? Were you a sugar baby? Like, what's the scoop? Let me know in the comments below. This was fun. I liked doing this. I enjoyed it. I've been meaning to do it. I'm sorry it took so long, but here it is. Alright, I got things to do, sweeties. So until next time, I'm Zane, aka Novaboi. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, baby. Hit the alerts. Hit that bell. Hit those notifications. Make sure you get them. And because I'm posting at least once a week. Try to do like 2 videos a week, but definitely at least doing 1 like Life with Novaboi vlog weekly, so you'll definitely get that. But I am also trying to put out another video in the same week. So 1 to 2 videos a week. And if you're into that, hit subscribe. If you're not, I'm glad that you watched this and you gave me a view and you heard my story and maybe I touched you and maybe you can touch me in the comments below. Sound off. But yeah. Bye guys.